Alrighty. Hey, it's Mel with the Screencasting Wizard, helping you digitize your knowledge to get it online and web ready. And we're back for episode number 4 here today. And today we're taking a look at Screenflow. Now, I love Screenflow. I love Camtasia Mac better, but Screenflow is a very nice package, and the price point is actually very similar between Screenflow and Camtasia for Macintosh. But the fact is, I took a look at those same criteria, and what we're doing is we're taking a look at these same criteria for Screenflow as well. It does a cursor effects and animation very well. It does multiple video tracks, does multiple audio tracks beyond the 3 that we were talking about that gets you a 5. And then it also does annotations and callouts, but there was a small little glitch in the pixelation effect, and I'll show you what that is, that earned it a 4.5, which couldn't quite get up to the 5 level. However, if you've got Screenflow or you've got Camtasia for Macintosh, I don't see any reason switching one from the other or whatever. Both do a lot of things well, and each one does certain things that the other doesn't, quite do or whatever. So let's take a look at the cursor effects and animation first. The way we've been testing this out is at 100% magnification. You can't really see where that cursor is moving around too much. However, you can probably see where they kind of pop with these little red bars, right? So that actually shows a click animation. So that's great. So Screenflow does that. Again, by the way, I should say this is not a training course on how to use these different software packages. We're just doing the comparisons here. But if I select the video track and then we took a look at the mouse pointer, you can actually scale it up to 500%, and now you can see it. See where that is? Now you have like 2. There's a me and a big me and a mini me, right? But you can see that's the one that we recorded off of Screenflow. Okay, so that's showing up pretty well. So that's great. Multiple video tracks. We can take a look down here where we've got the one video track already, and then we just basically do a Control-C, Command-C, and then Command-V to copy it onto itself. And as you can see, we've got many more than the 3 that we were saying gets you basically a 5 out of 5 on the Mel rank. So that's good. All right, so we're good there. Now, multiple audio tracks, it'll do that as well. So let's go ahead and import one of my little test videos here. So here's my test video or audio or video track that I've imported in from outside of Screenflow. So then you'll probably some of you will recognize this is actually one that I created for one of the previous episodes of the Best Screencasting Software series. Anyhow, so there's an audio associated with that. The thing I like about Screenflow is, just like Camtasia for Macintosh and also Camtasia for PC, it allows you to detach that audio. What we're testing here is the ability to do multiple audio tracks on top of being able to do multiple video tracks. And in fact, if we copy that and then paste it back in on itself, you can see that I'm able to get many more video tracks here as well. Okay, or audio tracks. So that's good. Let's go ahead and take that away. Now, some of the critical ones in terms of annotations and callouts. The reason I kind of gave a 4.5 on the pixelation is this. Let's assume again that these capital letters over here is a simulated password or some confidential information on the screencast that you're capturing. So what we're able to do here is we can select the video track and then come over. We would add a callout basically to that. There's a freehand effect that I can define a box around the particular area that I want to define to be this confidential area that we want to pixelate out, and then all I would do is just bump up the blur factor. So that's good enough, right? The thing though is Screenflow doesn't allow you to keyframe this or to animate that, and the reason that's important is because sometimes when you are capturing screencasts and so on, you end up moving the screen, or you minimize a screen, and the password on which that screen was at then starts to minimize, but the password starts scrolling down as well. So it's sometimes good to be able to have the blur effect follow that down off screen. All right, can't do that in Screenflow, so that's kind of an annoying thing. The other thing is, while I can pixelate out the screencast, the video from the screencast track, let's say if I imported video from outside, like for instance this one here that we're taking a look at, and because my ugly mug, I don't want to show my ugly mug for whatever reason, if I selected that video track, notice how the call out button over here would otherwise allow me to be able to put a pixelation effect now grays out. Can't do it. So I can't, in other words, I can't put a pixelation effect on top of imported video, at least not yet in this version of Screenflow, and we're evaluating Screenflow version 2. Let me just check that real quick. I'm sorry, we're even actually taking a look at Screenflow version 3. All right, so in that sense, it gets us a 4.5 for the pixelation effect. However, it does a keyframing really well, and so I gave it a 5 out of 5 on the mill rank, and here's what I mean by that. If I can take any kind of a annotation or video track or something like that and revolve it around, animate it in some way, either make it move across the screen or revolve it around itself on the X, Y, and Z axes, and we're doing good. And in fact, I was able to do that here. So if I was to just play this, I've already set some of these up for you here. There's the X, a Y, and a Z annotation. It's going to be on this video track here. So if I just go ahead and push play on that, there's the X, there's the Y, and there's the Z axis. Now, one thing I did say that Screenflow does do that Camtasia for Macintosh does not currently do, at least not very easily, is the ability to be able to show the button key combinations that you push on the keyboard. And that's important, actually, and actually that's kind of slick, because sometimes you might be pointing out to somebody that the software that you're trying to teach them about, if you do a Control-C or you do a Control-V or something like that, you can't always show that very easily on the screen. But in Screenflow, it actually remembers any of those button key combinations during the recording process, such that you can actually point it out. And there's a Command-F right there. So that it captures, and then there was a Command-S, and I was just kind of pushing some button key combinations, but you can kind of see that there. All right, so that actually got captured it gets captured in real time while you're doing the while you are actually recording the screencast. So I thought that was actually pretty good, and so I'll give Screenflow a field promotion to 5 out of 5 overall for on the mill rank. Okay, that's about it for right now. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button up above. This is Mel Aclaro with the Screencasting Wizard. Next time we will be taking a look at Jing software and comparing it on the same criteria. All right, this is Mel with the Screencasting Wizard, helping you digitize your knowledge to get it online and web ready. Take care.